Hello, hello. Okay, that's one of us. Let's both of us right now.
Can they hear
Okay,
me?
they can hear you now.
This is only a test of your emergency broadcast system.
It has
Definitely not
been
a real episode.
yeah, it's been so long that all of the
It's been
audio things are fucked up
it's
this
been a
whole time.
week. It's been a week.
So welcome to Dicing with Death, everybody. It's been a while, long week. What is going on with you, Ryan?
Oh, not much. The usual. Yeah. Dad life. I guess the last episode was like,
Remember?
yikes. Not 6 months, but 4.5, 5.
Six?
December, well, January,
5.5.
February, March,
Five and a
April.
half. Rounding to
Sure.
6.
Wow.
I guess there was
But
one in December. Okay.
really?
Okay, there was
Like
a
December
December
1st?
2nd, Take a Dwarf, Leave
Okay.
a Dwarf.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
This episode. Been a lot. Dad life, how's it treat?
Um, you know, hanging in there, getting sleep where we can, playing D&D when we can. This is kind of a test to see if baby will play D&D. And it may or may not work. I've got a mom in the other room this week, but the future plan is to fly solo.
Mm-hmm.
And we shall see. So I think moving forward, Dicing with Death will be spotty with random lengths of segments and excessive breaks. And I don't know, maybe you can come up with a thing to do in between, or are you just going to take like 30-minute long coffee breaks?
Find out. Depending on what is going on with the campaign in particular, there might be some wiggle room. I've considered the idea in the past of, at least with like Devon, if when we get into magic item creation, which I'm hoping we'll do today-ish, having like an assistant or a sidekick that can be a reoccurring guest who can like pop
A guest
in
on Dicing with Death?
who can pop in as your assistant and like run missions for you and whatnot. And if you are in dad life and need a half-hour break, then
I don't know how I
maybe we
feel
can
about
work
this.
a guest into.
Who am I being replaced with? Is it Rob? Tell me it's not
No,
Rob.
it's not Rob. You have nothing to worry about. No. Oh, I had floated the idea to Matthew Berger like 2 years ago, and then completely went silent on him about it. Anyway, one possible idea.
You're just trying to wring some free artwork out of him, aren't you?
Always need that good art.
Yeah. So got some Devon. We're definitely going to do time skips. We swear.
Yeah.
I'm joking. We've been saying time skips since the beginning of this campaign.
And it hasn't happened, but this is the day, Ryan.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to remember what happened 4 or 5 months ago.
It's not necessarily true, but
I am rounding generously with that statement.
no, I mean,
it could be resolved.
I mean, there's a way to remember. It's called not being an old man. Unfortunately, there's none of those in this call.
Yes, just the old men with the graying or receding hairs. Take your pick. Which one?
Yeah. There are also some things that I could hypothetically run. I would need to like prep maps and stuff, and that's always been a questionable
stuff that you could run while carrying a child.
I suppose. Why not? What do you mean?
Maybe I misunderstood the point of the statement. Please continue.
I'm not running with the baby on. I mean D&D campaigns, like classes that I have sketched out that.
Okay, I thought this
require testing and campaigns, and
I thought this was in relation to the long break time comments. wondering how that would adjust or account for. But I feel.
What do you mean?
I think I misunderstood fundamentally what you were saying. Ignore my ramblings.
I was saying I have some character classes that need to be play tested, and we could run those at some point.
Absolutely. You want to spoil any of those classes?
I don't know. I've hinted them in the past, and we don't need to do that again.
Fair.
Until we decide to start playing some stuff. Cool. Well, but I think today we're doing some Devon.
Yeah.
Some divine item creation.
Yeah. So I wanted to kind of go through, we don't have to get to all of this today, but go through some like the different classes of magic items and explore what it's like to make them. First magic items you get are scrolls and potions, and then wands and staves, and then you get permanency, and then you can make whatever you want. So I figured we would start in the shallow end and work our way towards the deep end, and maybe come up with some processes for magical items that Devon might want created, and then make some basic things.
I suppose, yeah. We have done scrolls and potions with Georg, but yeah, we didn't really design any new ones. We just kind of worked with what we had.
Yeah.
And I did have an idea for a staff thing that Devon will make. And I had probably imagined just using workaround magic item workaround magic item creation, i.e. like using spells to make it seem like a magic item. The spell point system makes it kind of flexible, right? You could invent a spell, and the way we've done the armor spell, I mean, I guess you could do it with memorized spell slots, but the way we do the armor spells, you just earmark 3 MP per day to have your armor spell cast on you. Similarly, you could earmark like 7 MP per day as a second level spell slot to have some daily effect that you channel through your spell. See, we took too long with the prep, and Baby Pops is awake.
Quiet?
Yeah, she was cooing. So Devon does plan to extrude a staff from the elemental plane of Earth and process and strengthen it with the other elements as well. But if we are starting with scrolls and potions, that's...
I was just saying that because we needed a place to start, and that seemed logical, but
yeah,
we don't have to be Vulcans about this.
We can time skip 50 years in the future and then backtrack 40 years and then...
Or we can just start with more powerful things and work our way down or bounce around. It sounds like you've got an idea for a thing, which is better than my idea for no thing. So
yeah, and there are also some, I know you can't remember what we were doing, but there are some story elements that cannot be totally ignored. If you want, we can like come back to them at a later date. But so the last episode was just bringing all of those dwarves here. And on the way, we stumbled across Drexel's workshop and saw I don't remember if we got a vision or something, but we discovered it had some ties to Atropos, or Atropos had some ties to the workshop. So that bears investigation. And then all of these dwarves will be setting up shop in Necrot, building like boardwalks or bridges through the brackish fen to allow passage. And then Devon will slowly be, I don't know, extruding mountains from the earth to raise Necrot's station in the land.
Love it. Love it.
But potions?
Well, let's pick a place to start. We can start with, following up on dwarves and Drexel. We can start with potions, or we can start with your earth mining staff, your elemental planar staff. Just pick one.
Cool.
One tickles your fancy.
So the elemental staff, elemental pike, I think I might call it, is something that I can already do. I obviously can't enchant it. With the help of my assistant.
Okay.
And then an idea for a potion. I created that regeneration spell. I feel like it needs a better name. Let's see, it's a touch spell, and with the material component being troll blood. And that causes the target to heal 1 HP per round. So we could potentially enchant that into a potion, somewhat healing potion, a wizardy healing potion that grants like trollish regeneration for some duration.
Caster level. Oh. Casting beyond. Check with the monk. -1 health. Casting or
So we can make a troll blood potion or something.
totally.
Right, rather than Devon having to cast the spell every time, you could prepare some permanently enchanted potions of troll blood.
Yes, absolutely. Normally need ingredients and magic in order to create potions, and this would be the spell that you would need for a healing potion, which I think under normal circumstances gets restricted to clerics, but...
Yeah, this was kind of our workaround to give a wizard a healing spell.
Yeah, but just as a matter of precedent-setting record, future wizards in other campaigns that are not Ryan or Devon probably won't be able to create these healing potions. So don't come citing this to me in 5 years when...
how are you going to get a 9th level... the creature is waking. How are you going to get a 9th level wizard in a future campaign?
All right, this might be time for one of our
Test failed. I mean, if it were a
breaks.
future week, this would be an infamous break. Do you want a baby? Yeah, you sure?
Okay, my mic should be more reliable now. There's some complicated stuff going on over there. Articles of clothing have been removed. Babies have changed hands. Straps are being undone. You got some nice baby spit on your face, on your chest? You got some nice baby spit on your chest?
Oh, did I not mute myself?
You did.
Okay, did I just unmute myself?
Yes.
Okay, the lovey-dovey talk was off stream.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to get an example of a healthy relationship.
All right, good. Yeah, tune in for Love Bites for that. None of the relationships on Dicing with Death are healthy. So I think in future weeks, we should have the tech set up so that as soon as I return with a sleeping baby, we can get a 45-minute session in, or however long she'll sleep.
Mm-hmm.
No dilly-dallying. No, like Ryan coming home with a sleeping baby and hopping online and Neal's AFK.
Right. Okay.
Chatting on the phone with his healthy relationship.
Oh, God, those healthy relationships. They always get in the way of Dungeons and Dragons, don't they?
Don't they?
Okay, so potions. Level requirements are level 9. You'll need some sort of facilities. I think we have been RPing you building your facilities over time, so that seems fine. I think we just have to push you to level 9 to get you to make some potions.
Are we doing that? We can't time skip like that.
We can do it.
How do we do it? Should we not take care of all the earlier stuff first?
Check this out. We've got your character sheet open. I'm just going to change your level to 9.
6 to a 9.
There we go. It's done. You're still going to need to roll me some hit points.
What happens if we need to backtrack?
We'll figure it out. We're smart, capable men.
The trouble with is there a way to duplicate character sheets?
Yes, actually.
Why don't you just make me we'll leave this level 6 character here and make me a new Devon that can be level 9.
Okay.
You copy me a new character sheet.
Duplicate.
Under Mousifer? Oh wait, no, Mousifer's there. Okay, copy of Devon.
Yes,
cool.
I'll just rename it to Devon level 6.
The original one, or the copy is
the copy is level 6. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. Cool. There we go.
Are we just gonna level? Are we just gonna give me a bunch of wizard XP and leave the fighter, or should we level both to level 9?
I'll level them both. Yeah. How much XP do you need your wizard to get to 9?
I don't know. Right now I've got 53k for the wizard and 39k for the fighter.
Well, according to my player's handbook, a 9th level wizard requires 135,000 experience.
Cool. So I just got 80,000 experience or something. So should we jump to 135k?
Yeah. 130.
Oh, are you still controlling my character sheet?
I am not.
Okay, I'll just...
So you get 82,000 experience, it looks like.
Okay. Oh, so should I then... Cool. And
yeah,
should I just add 82,000 to the fighter and see what happens?
Yeah, it brings you to 121 as the fighter. And 121 as a fighter puts you at level 7. Really?
Wizards start leveling up really fast for some inexplicable reason.
This is the weirdest fucking shit. You're level 7 fighter, 9 wizard? Who thought this was a good idea?
So I only gain 1 fighter level to power level this, right?
Yeah. Okay, I guess if they were both at 135, you'd be a level 8 fighter, but your fighter just happens to already be slightly lower level than your wizard, or less XP than your wizard. So normally it would only be 1 level difference, which is not as big of a deal as 2 levels.
All right, so I need to gain 1 fighter level and 3 wizard levels.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let's roll the fighter HP, so it's a D10 plus 1 divided by 2.
Mm-hmm. Oh, some Nyx rolls right there.
What? You're joking, right? It's not that good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nick, he rolls shitty.
Nick. I thought you said Nyx. So
no.
And
don't have
were we using
16
D6s for a wizard, or were we using I think we were using D6s.
I think we were using 6s.
All right, so I get to roll 3d6. Let's see,
plus
3d6 plus 3 divided by 2.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go.
Average 7 brings us to 44.5 HP max, and I should be fully healed at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Saves probably go up.
Wizard saves go up at 5, and hold on, I've got it over here somewhere. Wizard saves go up at levels 6 and level 11.
So no wizard save improvements. Fighters might
Go up at 7 at odd levels.
Which I hit, but I don't think that will improve anything.
No, they would be 10, 12, 11, 12,
Yeah.
13 down the line.
Yeah. So no save improvements. Actually, I do get a save improvement. Because I've got a warrior PPD save, I think. I've got +1 to all saves because of a scarab, I think.
Okay.
So PPD goes down to 9. Breath weapon goes down to 11. Cool. Right, because the save modifiers don't actually apply properly.
Right. There's going to be a new model of the character sheet, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, that will break the combat tab into an offense and a defense tab so that there can be enough space to have everything be properly automated.
Cool. Proficiencies worth looking at. How many? Let's see. Fighter won't get one till 8. Do wizards get non-weapon every 3?
Yes. So they should get one at 9 as a wizard.
So I get it. I'll add an extra. Do I already have an extra? Have I added any non-weapon proficiencies? Not worth doing math. And I'm not even sure what I would add at this point, but sweet. So level 9. And I should have, I didn't even have 4th level spells.
No, this will get you 4th and 5th level spells, which I think for the moment we don't have to.
Oh, I need to roll MP, don't I?
Oh,
yeah, we don't have to fill them, but I need to gain, I get D willpower every time I level up.
Yeah.
So 3d13, I believe.
Nice.
Basics. Let's see. Yeah, 3d13. Okay, 26 more MP. Bring it from 49 to 75. Which is 72 if I've got an armor spell cast. Oh, hi. Cool. How many fireballs is that?
How much does Fireball cost?
I need. It's been so long since I've looked at this wizard rebuild. Oh, I don't know if she's on camera. But...
No, she's just out. Oh,
yeah,
she is. There she is.
I don't know if she's on stream.
There.
She's on Neal's
She's
camera
chilling.
at least.
Okay.
She looks super cozy.
Give it 10 minutes and then she'll start screaming.
Nice. It's the way it's supposed to be.
A 3rd level spell costs 12.
Okay.
12 times 6 is 72, right? I can
I
cast
believe
6.
so.
I can cast 6 fireballs and 1 armor spell.
That seems about right. A 9th level wizard to burn all their MP can cast 6 fireballs?
I don't know how average of a wizard I am, but yeah.
All right. Digging it. This is looking like it's working out. And we can get you 4th and 5th level spells eventually, but we don't need to do it now. Cool. All right. So leveling up accomplished. It's either time to hop into this item creation or take our first break. I don't know what your real
Let's
world
keep
life
going.
is like.
Well,
Okay. Cool.
If she's not screaming, we're fine.
I don't know these things, Ryan. I rely on you for all baby information. 100% of my baby lore comes from Ryan. Great. So healing potion is what we were looking at, yeah? Yeah.
Healing potion? It's not going to be a healing potion. It will be a potion of a potion of trollish regeneration or something.
Okay. Is this going to be a solve that you put on an open wound, or is this going to be something imbibed?
It will be imbibed. I think it will basically be a magical item version of the spell. So instead of the wizard having to cast regeneration on the person to give them regeneration, it will just be a magical potion of troll blood that they drink, and they gain 1 HP per round for 9 rounds, probably.
You don't want this to be a solve that you can rub into an unconscious person's wounds?
Oh, that's a much better item.
It's a highly valuable item. Everyone wants to do the potion enemas, but if you've got a solve that you rub the whole thing in on someone's wounds and it'll regenerate, D6 HP or whatever, 9 HP.
Yeah. I think it gives you 1 HP per round,
right?
For the level of the caster. I mean, how do you feel about the spell itself? Is troll blood that must be quaffed, but do you think the spell would work if you poured troll blood in open wounds?
Maybe in the transition from a spell to a potion, the properties change a little bit. My bigger concern is that a healing potion does 2d4 plus 2 HP, which rounds out to about 7, and this would do 9 healing. So this is going to be a stronger, more reliable heal.
Although it's slower.
That's true. It is 1 per round instead of all at once. So it's not particularly useful in combat situations.
Or maybe it's more useful in combat situations. Like you can take it before.
Oh, you could rub it on your wounds, and even if you heal up, then you'll continue to regenerate. Like you can go up and down and up and down.
Yeah, we could make it so that you have to roll potion interactions for the typical potion duration, regardless. So, like, normally you drink a healing potion, you can just keep chugging healing potions. But if you mix multiple potions, right? So, is it usually like 5d4 turns or something that a potion lasts, or
something like that?
Right. So, if it could be interacting for 5d4 turns. I don't know. We could also slow it down. It could be like 1 HP every 2 rounds for.
The speed is fine with me. I think the potion will be capped at 9. Like if you're a 15th level person making the potion, it still makes it at the same strength, right? You're not going to have like variability strength potions cruising around.
Yeah. Then in that case, we could lower it to whatever healing option you want. 5 rounds, 6 rounds. I said 9 just because a 9th level caster.
That makes sense. I guess I don't have any real problems with 9. The difference between 7 HP and 9 HP isn't huge. It's like, a little bit stronger, but it's also slower. And then there's
potions of greater healing.
Right.
Which are 3d8 plus 3.
Yeah. So I think for this potion of trollish fortitude or healing solve or trollish solve or whatever we want to call it, 9 seems reasonable. What happens if a person's at like -5 when this gets applied? Is it like it will heal you up to -4, 3, 2, 1, or does it go straight to?
I feel like it should bring you to 1 HP max, right?
Okay.
Over the or should it? Do you not want it to overheal? Is that your concern? Like magical healing shouldn't be able to bring you above 1. Is that what you're thinking is?
I don't have a strong opinion yet. I'm still.
I think it should take a number of rounds. It shouldn't auto heal to 1. The spell itself does stop bleeding. Well, major bleeding. It wouldn't stop severe bleeding, I don't think. Is there severe bleeding? That's like percentage based.
Yeah, it's 10 to 60%.
Yeah. So it would stabilize a dying person, but it would take however many. And if they're at, I guess, -10, you're dead.
Right.
So if you're at -9, it would heal you. It would stabilize you and bring you up to 0. Otherwise, should it bring you up to 1 or should it bring you up to?
I think 1 is fair. Probably not beyond 1 because that's how the system works. But I think it'll doing it in individual rounds makes a lot more sense. So you can't be like, oh, this person's at -5. Let me rub some healing salve at them, and they're back fighting the next round. But like the healing salve could then keep them from dying and stabilize them. I like this as a like not as a return to combat ability, but as a return to mobility. And what if we're talking about this being a solve, what if your wounds are non-physical in nature? It would be weird to say that it has to be physical wounds, but what if you take, like, I don't know, psychic damage or, I
don't know if that would be weird. It seems to, I mean, what would happen if a troll took psychic damage? I feel like you could probably bypass a troll's regeneration by, like, using magic to... Right, like, yeah. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, there's not really rules for it, and there's not really psychic damage in 2E.
Right. But there's you imagine you're affected by an illusion of a rock's falling on you, and the horror is so great that you take the actual damage. Do you
actually take damage in that case, or do you just think you take damage?
I think you just think you take damage unless it is enough to kill you, in which case you outright die. I think you're right. Yeah, 2E doesn't have a lot in terms of psychic damage. There might be like some psionics damage.
There are. That creates a separate HP pool, like a separate psionic pool.
Okay, rubbing into the wounds. Love it.
Side effects are you grow hairy warts where the wounds were.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Maybe if players start abusing it, that seems like a fun side effect, but... Are you taking notes on this? Or?
I am, yes.
Oh, cool.
We said we'll stop minor and major bleeding, but not severe.
Yeah. And we'll stabilize a dying creature. And regen 1 HP per round to a maximum of 1.
To maximum 1 if you are unconscious. Yeah. Excellent. I will add the note at DM's option may produce hairy and warty skin in the areas it was applied. Love it. We've been playing Dungeon Crawl Classics for pawns and patrons, like once a month. And they've got some really interesting spell effects. Like every spell that you cast comes with like a table of other effects that might come along with it. So, when your character learns Magic Missile, you cast it in this weird way, and there's like 1 of 30 ways. And if I learn Magic Missile, I roll on the table and I'll cast it in this other weird way.
You roll once when you learn the spell, or is it a random effect every time? Okay.
No, you roll once when you learn the spell, and so then no 2 people cast spells in the exact same way.
Unless you have 30 people in your party.
Right.
Are they mechanically different, or is it just flavor?
There are some mechanical differences that are pretty cool. I'm trying to find my DCC books. Here they are. Pawns and patrons. Complete core rulebook. Those are sword powers. Where's the cool spell stuff? Ah, here we go. The Blade of Atropos. How does there a person named Atropos in DCC?
I think
fucking
Atropos
stole my name.
It's Greek for like. Isn't it Isn't it a Greek muse or something?
Probably.
It's one of the fates.
Oh yeah, that's probably where I stole it from.
Yeah, I think you stole it from Greek mythology because she's totally a fate. Moirae, is that what they're called? One of the oldest was the oldest fate. The inflexible or the inevitable.
Where are... want to find the cool wizard spells so I can read some of these effects, but I don't know the DCC book very well, so I'm kind of just stumbling through crap.
It's fine.
Okay.
Another game that has some interesting spells is Zweihander, which is based on like the Warhammer rulebook, and all the spells in that are like, I don't think they're not like random, but they're like fucked up spells. So like your spell makes your opponent like vomit up blood uncontrollably until they take enough damage and die, or like, I don't know, random disgusting shit like that.
Sounds like fun. Okay. Here's one of these here wonky tables where you can cast things in different ways. They call it the Mercurial Magic System. So D percentile. So like on a roll of 1 at great cost, every time the wizard casts a spell, someone he knows dies. DM's choice. Or luck distortion for D4 round.
Is that a first level spell?
This is just like for a spell effect that you might like have.
And is it permanent? Like you learn Magic Missile and that is an effect every time you cast Magic Missile?
I think so. I haven't rolled up a wizard, so I'm just trying to remember from what my other players have said or have happened with them, but that's one of them. Difficult to cast. Instead of rolling as normal on the spell check, you roll a reduced die because you roll to see how well you cast spells. Luck distortion for D4 rounds following the spell. The wizard suffers a -2 penalty to all attack rolls. This would be like every time you cast your spell. Oh wow, holy shit, it's a long ass table. It's got 100 entries. Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, so Trollish Fortitude Potion.
Is it ointment of Trollish Fortitude?
Oil, ointment,
poultice?
salve,
It's not an
poultice.
oil. I think it's like magic troll blood that you're like rubbing in your wounds. I feel like it should have to be physical wounds.
Okay. That makes sense to me.
I mean, what wounds aren't gonna? It could like cover an electrical burn or a burn.
Yeah.
Right, but you need a wound to apply it to.
Yes.
Which I think is 99% of D&D cases, there's going to be a wound to apply it to.
I think there are very few cases where that doesn't have an effect, or like the wound is internal or something.
Even then, maybe they could drink it. I don't know. Healing check required. So, poultice, ointment, balm.
I like the word solve, but balm.
Solve.
Yeah.
Solve. All right. Troll. Should it just be a healing solve, or should it be troll?
I like it since it's specifically a wizard spell. Trollish solve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Solve. Okay. Ingredients. So we know the spell is Trollish Fortitude, which is 3rd level.
Regeneration is the name of that. I should change it to Trollish Fortitude if that's not already a spell, though. I think that might already.
Oh, it is
be,
a spell. Okay.
Yeah, it's a 6th level spell that lets you regenerate limbs.
Okay, so what is the? You call it Trollish Regeneration?
Maybe Trollish Regeneration rather than just Regeneration is a better way to call it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So we will need a physical description of what the potion looks like, or the solve looks like. We'll need the ingredients, and we'll need the processes to make it.
So I think it will look like. I mean, it will look like blood, right? It'll be a deep. Is troll blood red? We've been describing it as such in this campaign, I think, but
I like it as red.
Yeah, so it's like a dark, viscous red potion. Does it maybe bubbly? Does it bubble?
Well, if it's a solve and you rub it on things, it would be. I guess it could bubble. Yeah, like a dark red, viscous, bubbling paste.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like if Vicks Vapor Rub
Yeah.
was like dipped in blood that was rotting.
Mm-hmm.
Some sort of
like a slow bubble. I'm thinking like a tar pit kind of bubble.
Yeah.
Like there are like bubbles in it, but they burst very intermittently.
It's not champagne bubbles. It's like
tar
mud
pit.
bubbles or tar pit
Mud
bubbles.
Yeah, there you go.
Delicious.
Yeah. Dark red viscous paste, and it's sticky. Gets all over your fingers.
Mm-hmm.
You use it too much, the caster gets warts all over their fingers.
Yeah.
Gotta use gloves or something to apply it, or like a little like spatula.
Get like little furry fingertips.
Yeah.
Can always tell the person who makes the Trollish Fortitude potions because their hands are just covered with like bubbling warts and gross hairs. That sounds wonderful.
Salve. The spell is obviously this Trollish Regeneration. Do you normally need more than one spell to make a potion? And then the ingredients, blood of does it need to be a two-headed troll? Yeah, I mean, that's the spell component for the blood of a two-headed troll. And probably one other thing, I would assume, right? Like, how do you make it permanent? How do you make it a potion?
That's the process, I think.
Okay, the process.
Yeah.
So I think it will be like some kind of like distillation type way to thicken it.
Potions that contain only a single use require one rare material and one common process.
Okay, so the rare material is the troll blood.
Yeah.
Then the common process is like reducing it down into an ointment.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you need to add some mundane ingredients to thicken it. I don't know, like cornstarch or arrowroot powder or something. I don't know.
I like the arrowroot powder. It sounds a little more fantastical and a little less like I've got that in my cupboard at home.
Yeah. Right, so I think the common process is like it needs to be reduced down in a cauldron or some similar device. With arrowroot powder to thicken it.
What is arrowroot powder? Is this a word you've just made up now, or is this a real thing?
No, it's a real thing. It's like a...
Could you spell it?
Arrow. ARROW.
Oh, okay. Arrowroot. Okay, cool. So you said distill it? No.
Reduce it.
Reduce it.
Reduce it in a cauldron or some similar vessel.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we reduce the troll blood in a cauldron. Well, I won't say how, but just reduce the troll blood and thicken with arrowroot powder. Great. And the last thing we need...
powdered arrowroot. How about that?
That sounds nice.
Arrowroot powder is something that you buy on Amazon in 2020. Powdered arrowroot is a wizard with a mortar and pestle smashing down a rhizome.
Okay. And last but not least, we need to determine the experience of the potion.
Oh.
Because that is a thing, and I am very uncomfortable dictating that. Potion XP from the DMG varies between 250 for the weakest potions to 750 for an Oil of Disenchantment. Yeah. So, a healing potion is normally 200. A potion of extra healing is 400.
I think 200 sounds reasonable, or 250. When does this even matter? Is this like the XP you get for creating it?
I think it's the XP you get for creating it, and then they also use that same figure for determining the costs associated with making it.
So does it cost 200 gold to make a healing potion?
I think so. rolls, potions, cost. Assuming the character is able to obtain any special or unusual materials required for the potion, it will cost him a number of gold pieces equal to the potion's experience point value to brew the potion. Process takes 1 day per 100 GP required.
So it'll take 2 days and 200 gold.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then there's a base chance of functioning, or of succeeding, which we don't have to worry about right now. But I think 200 XP, same as a healing potion, makes sense.
Yeah. Then you have to roll for success.
Yeah, which is 70% plus 2 per character level, minus 1 for every 100 GP the potion costs. So at 9th level, it'd be 70 plus 18 minus 2. So 70
So
plus
80,
16, 86?
There's no bonus for int.
There is no bonus for int.
Okay.
96 or higher, the process fails and the potion is cursed in some way. Typically it becomes a potion of poison or delusion instead of what it should be.
So typically you roll this in secret.
Yeah, I would roll the success or failure in secret.
Although if you're smart, you will cast Identify on all of your magical items.
Yes. Cool. So
this could be useful going into a battle. Right, like as A0 is pointing out, right, and we kind of talked about earlier. Right, like normally a healing potion is more useful in combat, but if like on round 0 of combat, you apply this trollish salve as like a war paint, you have 1 HP per round regeneration for the first.
But you'd have to be wounded already, right? If you apply it to unbroken skin, it probably won't do anything.
Yeah, probably.
I think it would only apply to wounds that it... So if I have a wound and I'm down 4 HP, if I apply it on that wound, and then I take a 10 HP wound later, I think it would only heal the 4 HP that were lost in that. I mean, it's right. Too much of a pain in the ass to track individual wounds, but I don't think you can apply it to uncreated wounds yet.
Okay. Fair enough.
Unless someone stabs you exactly where the potion of Trollish Fortitude is, and just keeps pushing it into your body
head to toe with the troll ointment.
Bathe in the troll ointment. Okay, cool. I dig it.
No, you don't drink this. I mean, you could drink this, but you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah. I think that is our first magical item that we've created in this campaign, then. I think it is good to go.
Sweet. Where is Devon making these potions? Is his workshop in the town? What do we want to get a little vision of Necrot at this point in time?
Yeah. So either this is something that was being created in Drexel's workshop, or Devon has created a workshop of his own here in Necrot. Does
Drexel's workshop have the equipment for this? It sounded like it was like a monster factory, not a wizard's workshop.
Correct. But I don't know if you wanted to like turn that into a wizard's workshop, or if you wanted to build your own tower with teleportation protection.
Potentially both. Devon's tower is definitely a thing, and then what happens to Drexel's workshop will depend on in-game factors.
I think
so at some point Devon will confront Atropos about Drexel, probably shortly after the events of last episode. I don't know if that's something that should be role played out, or if it's just something you want to narrate out of character to me. But I think shortly after where we last left, so Devon at level 6, or maybe level 7, will walk out to to Atropos's cave and confront her, maybe in front of her new apprentice, maybe not,
Mm-hmm.
and inform her that I stumbled across something interesting in the brackish fen. An altar, a magic circle.
The wicked-looking witch will coo gently at you and sort of push her assistant to the side and move over towards you with her big, wrinkly eyes and look into yours and ask you to describe what you have found. But she seems excited, enough to push away her assistant and not come and like creepily rub your leg, but honestly just want to know what you're talking about.
I think you know what I found. Devon, like, gauging her reaction. So he was expecting this was going to be a confrontation, but does she genuinely not seem to know?
Well, she licks her lips in anticipation of you saying that.
Yeah, Devon has his Serona, his crown of lore dropping. Mm-hmm. So I think he will probably be... Oh, wait, I've tried to read her mind before, and it's terrifying, right? It's like staring into the abyss.
Do you want to try and read it now?
Yeah, just remind me what happens if I'm ESPing Atropos.
You get this sensation of like a bottomless pit with stuff just falling into it, and the amount of stuff will never fill the pit. And she's looking at you with this sensation of like, here are more things to throw into the pit. As if you are somehow like feeding some unsatiated desire deep within. And I think normally this is, brought to you in terms of concepts of what might be falling into this theoretical, metaphorical pit. Mm-hmm. And it has been like the stuff of nightmares. And in this time, the attitude on her changes enough that she is locked into what you're saying and is listening very carefully.
There are no surface thoughts. There's just a bottomless pit sucking up whatever surface thoughts there are and depositing them deep in the recesses of infinity.
That's close enough for now. If that's Devon's interpretation, then that's fine with me.
Yes, chat. She is blind or nearly blind. She has like cataracts or something. Mm-hmm. So she can't really see me, but she can still get all up in my grill.
Mm-hmm. Maybe like shapes in the dark, silhouettes, but not.
Yeah.
Devon's holding up 3 fingers, more like I can, move in the direction of the light being blocked.
I think you know what I found. Do you not?
She licks her lips and moves closer to you and rests her head on I guess on your breast.
Who is Drexel? Who was Drexel?
Her ear pressed to your left breast. Her hands kind of like wrapped to your side so she can move her face with your breathing. She'll murmur to herself a little bit before looking back at you and saying, one of the greats of old.
Atropos, where do you come from?
Why?
Were you born here in the hills?
I'm a simple woman, disfigured by the gods, living my life peacefully amongst the mountains.
Am I still reading her thoughts, or was it too disconcerting to concentrate on?
I'll give you a willpower check.
Basic. Come on, willpower. Yeah,
yes.
I'm still. Maybe I peered away for a second, but like, I checked to see if she's telling the truth, or if she's, or does she even? Is she even thinking of her memories?
Her thoughts become the stuff of nightmares again. You see flayed people hanging upside down by chains, dripping their blood into large pools, while strange, misshapen, hairy little creatures move about underneath the pools in an ever, swaying pattern of movement the ground like covered with these crawling things, these skinless things begging in some language that you're not aware of, but you can understand the words for release from death. Just horrible, nightmaric stuff.
The mountains?
The mountains, yes. Right around here.
There are no mountains here, right?
It's hilly. It's mountainous. You know, what's the difference between a mountain and a hill?
The mountains have not yet risen, Atropos. I saw a vision at Drexel's magic circle. You were there. He summoned you.
I'm always in your heart, Devon. I'll be with you forever. I helped craft you, helped shape you into the man you are today. You can't escape me.
Craft me? I was born.
Certainly.
Like any human, Devon's hand instinctively goes up to his pointed ears.
You are not born of my hands, Devon. Not your flesh, but your mind, your spirit, your direction. Oh, we've been close. We've been very close until you thought you didn't need me anymore.
Is her apprentice lurking in the background listening?
Yes.
Yeah. Who is Drexel to you? Friend? Father? Master?
An old apprentice from long, long ago. You seem unsettled. Why?
Because you are unsettling. You are clearly not of this world. And your mind, your heart, your soul are portals to the abyss. Devon shakes his head and breaks the ESP connection. Backs away slowly.
Yeah, she releases her grip on you. She stops hearing your heartbeat, and she will crumple back down onto the ground again, motioning for her servant to bring her like furs to warm her back up and make her cozy again.
I wonder what I should do with this workshop. Should I seal it up once again? Smash it to 1,000 pieces?
Oh. Why would you do that? You and I both know it's not what you're about to do.
Yeah. Cut to Devon and his apprentice on the magic circle.
Yep.
If I recall, there's a magic circle, and then underneath there were like workshop stuff, right? Most of it is in such disrepair that there wasn't really anything to it, but empty rooms with rotted belongings.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then there was and so the workshops were long decrepit, but there was an altar with that was still in decent shape, with a statue of Ponos and of Terasa? Seor? Maybe 3 statues? It doesn't matter, because I don't think Devon is going inside for now.
You got all 3 right. The center shrine is to Seor, and the side shrines are Terasa and Ponos.
Okay. But I think we're just doing this on top of the magic circle.
Mm-hmm.
If I recall, I don't even know what the magic circle did. I probably detected magic, but I can't really remember.
Mm-hmm.
But we're just using this location because it's a little out of the way. By now, the dwarves have probably built those bridges and boardwalks throughout through the swamp.
Most definitely.
But I think they steered clear of this place, right? So
that was the initial plan, I believe. If you want them to alter their plan, which the whole thing will take months. Okay.
I think they steered clear of this place. So like we're able to walk across boardwalks and bridges like halfway through the fen.
Mm-hmm.
And then like we have to trudge over swamp a couple of miles to get to this workshop.
Perfect.
But anyways, we're here now, and we will be crafting Devon's elemental pike. And I will be opening portals, and my assistant will be holding them open long enough for me to do my work. I probably don't even need my craftsman here. I might be able to do this all myself, but so the order will go a minor gateway to the elemental plane of earth. Are you looking something up?
I was just looking for a jacket. It's cold.
All right. I figure a few minutes and we'll take a break.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Minor gateway to the elemental plane of earth, which my assistant holds portal open long enough for me to extrude a chunk of it. Did you have a table where you rolled...
what you extruded?
Yeah. Or what was in the plane of earth?
That is what I'm looking for here. And I think you kept rolling 7s, which was like something super boring. Here we go. It is a 2d8.
Mm-hmm.
Don't roll a 2, 3, or 4 because I haven't written that stuff yet.
2, 3, or 4.
Okay. Don't roll 2, 3, or 4.
8. That's fucking the same 8. Damn shit as every time, isn't it?
You get more copper.
Okay. It's a copper. I mean, there's also just rock, isn't there?
Yeah.
One 9 cubic feet. That's actually a lot of material. I probably don't need that much.
9 cubic feet is a crap ton of material.
Yeah.
Cubic foot per level. Yep. So it's just like...
I don't think I need that much. No, extrude is the one. This isn't the...
Oh, the other one was
make that...
the magic hands, right?
Yeah, what level was that going to be? Was it 4 or 5? We could actually make that spell at some point now. Extrude forces a volume of material in a direction. So in this case, I just extrude a pike out of the elemental plane of earth. Just a staff spear of rock.
Mm-hmm.
And then the portal closes. It will be it'll be a staff of rock, probably interlaced with veins of copper.
Beautiful.
And then we are going to open up another minor gateway. 2 this time. Standing back, I might need some kind of like pedestal to set the staff upon. Although what pedestal could survive this? Maybe it just has to sit on the ground here on the magic circle. A minor gateway to the elemental plane of fire. Stepping back.
That will create a huge fire blast when you open it.
So we're standing back, whatever it is, 20 feet away from the magic circle. Devon has set this up. He's already drawn out these like chalk lines all over the magic circle to prepare this.
Mm-hmm.
He opens up the plane of fire, and his assistant casts a hold portal to hold this open.
Mm-hmm.
While Devon opens a second minor gateway to the elemental plane of air, shooting a gust of air into or across the plane of fire.
Like right angles to each other?
Maybe even just facing each other, basically to stoke the flames, like bellows in the elemental forge. So
you get the wind and the fire to mix right on and around the staff?
Yeah, basically annealing it, flash heating it in the fires of the elemental plane of fire. And then finally, he kicks his servant to break her concentration as he casts a minor gateway to the plane of water, dousing the whole altar in a flood of water, quenching the molten hot staff.
It boils and sizzles and turns to vapor and steam, creating a billowing cloud of fog that obscures your vision for a moment until the wind blows it away and you see before you
basically what I described, a spike of rock veined with copper, and yeah, I think this will be Devon's weapon, usable as a staff and a spear, extruded from the elemental plane of earth, forged in the fires and in the elemental fires, stoked bellows from the elemental plane of air, and quenched in the elemental plane of water.
And for now, this is a non-magical staff, but it is made with the right materials and the right processes that it could be enchanted at some point.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And there are a couple of enchantments I have in mind for it. I guess, good point, A0. I can mark of, or antenna. Is antenna different than, is he the artist guy?
I think they're the same person.
All right. Yeah, I could mark of recall it, and I probably will. Let me check. Does this have to be done at creation?
No.
It must be physically marked or inscribed with words or runes. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I will need to inscribe runes to mark of recall it.
Right.
But it could be done after the fact.
Yeah. Right. You could have done it before you quenched it in fire or after you quenched it in fire. Your call.
Cool. Yeah. So here's where I can patch together fake magic items with spells. So one thing I want to do is like an attunement, like maybe create a 2e spell, attune, where like meditating with the item attunes it to the caster, basically rendering it we can make this spell after the break or something, basically making it a physical extension of the caster's body, allowing touch attacks to be made through it and allowing it to be used as a martial arts weapon. So basically, so you could cast, so for Devon, I think his Fist of Stone can be used through this elemental weapon. Or like you could cast Chill Touch and then use Chill Touch through the staff, or cast, I don't know what other touch attacks are, I guess like Vampiric Touch or etc.
What was the name that you had for this effect, this ability?
Attune.
Attune.
Probably some confusion with 5e attunement, but it will be similar. I think when it's permanent, it will be the kind of thing where either the caster has to meditate with it every morning while they're doing their spell, or like has to sit there with it during their spell memorization or whatever. But until then, we can just make a spell attune where it's like a 10-minute casting time, I don't know, 2nd or 3rd level spell that attunes an item to you for a day.
10-minute casting time, attunes an item to you for about 24 hours.
I think 24 hours.
And allows you to make touch attacks through the melee weapon?
Yes.
Has to be melee though, right?
Yes, I think so. Wow. And it can be used as a martial arts weapon, which...
Right, but that's not part of the attunement. That's just part of the...
I think so. It makes an extension of the caster's body.
Does that mean you could use like a two-handed sword as a martial arts weapon then?
I think so. I was daydreaming the words to the spell. I'll probably type it out when I get around to adding it to my sheet. But I think it needs to, so like you're attuning the resonant frequencies of the material to yourself. And so it needs to be a natural material. So if you had like a quartz sword or something, maybe you could attune it. But if you've got a typical, like a forged weapon, probably not.
So it must be made of natural materials.
Yeah,
that
which I guess
remain
is getting
unforged? Because like an iron sword is made of natural
maybe
materials.
natural. I mean, it's up subject to. Well, is that natural? I mean, it's subject to interpretation, I suppose. I mean, but in some maybe this staff was kind of forged in unless, but I guess forging an elemental fire is maybe not. It's somewhat natural, supernatural.
So like a quartz blade sword would be permitted, but
I feel like it, but a steel sword would not. I don't know how to call that. I mean, I think I would call it natural materials and leave that to DM interpretation.
Love it.
So I feel like wood or bone or rock, like wood, bone, stone, but not metal, basically, unless it's somehow, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you could do a thrown weapon. I feel like it would be inconvenient. Like, does it need to be a melee weapon? Like, what if you like attune a stone to your body and then throw a chill touch? I feel like that's fine. The issue is just it's a lot of spells to dump into a one-off, right? Because if you tune a stone to your body, cast chill touch, then you can throw chill touches, but then you've thrown this attuned stone that you dumped a second or third level spell slot on.
Okay.
And then you've got to go pick it back up. So I don't think it needs to be a melee weapon.
Melee or thrown, but not like fired. You can't do it on a ballista bolt, right? Because that, I feel like if you're attuning to it, then the force must come from your body to maneuver it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And I can't imagine ever using it on a thrown weapon. I'm sure I'll exploit that at some point. But yeah. I'm saying Spectral Hand does this. Is that a second level? Second level wizard spell, Spectral Hand. 2 rounds per level. Any touch attack, 4th level or less, can be cast with the hand. +2 bonus to hit. Yeah. So somewhat comparable to that, but
yeah, but then Spectral Hand has a duration measured in rounds.
But it also lets you
do it
at a range. That the main point of Spectral Hand is you can do it at range.
Right, and attunement has a much longer duration, but it's done in melee. Well, it's not quite so ranged, and it doesn't give you the +2.
I don't think most wizards would actually care about this.
Yeah,
I think it's like it's a fighter wizard type ability, where like you allow yourself to cast spells through your weapon. Maybe it's a 3rd level spell. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, if Spectral Hand is 2nd level, Attune seems to be practically the same thing. About the same power level. It's got longer duration, but it doesn't have range, doesn't have the +2. Yeah.
I mean, eventually this will be a permanent effect of the weapon. But until then, it's like Devon will give up. If it's 2nd level, it'll be giving up 7 MP to attune this weapon every day.
I have a question about Spectral Hand, just as a way of gauging the power level of Attune. The 3rd paragraph says the caster cannot perform any other actions when attacking with the hand. Does that mean you can cast a spell and make an attack with it in the same round, but then perform no actions, or do you need to cast the spell one round and then attack with the hand the next?
I feel like with the duration, you have like
it's got to be in the same round.
No. I think you'd have to like. I think it would still take a round to cast a spell. Like you can't cast Chill Touch and attack with Chill Touch the same round, right?
I don't know.
Although Shocking Grasp, for example, Shocking Grasp, it has a duration, right?
Yeah, but the duration. What does it say? Oh, one round per level of the caster, or until it's discharged. So Shocking Grasp only lasts 1 round at 1st level when you get it.
But I assumed that was the round like you cast it. I feel like it's meant to be cast the round that
you make the attack in.
Yeah,
that's what makes sense to me. Is that you cast it and then you make your attack roll in the same round.
Does Chill Touch allow you to make a Chill Touch attack the same round? I think we always played it that, but I never realized Chill Touch had a duration. Or I thought it was like Shocking Grasp for it.
The touch creature does this. Damage must be cured magically or healed naturally, as opposed to. Yeah, nothing calls out specifically that you can do it in the same round, but that makes sense. It would be weird to spend 2 rounds to make an attack, like a shitty attack roll. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then I assume with Spectral Hand, it probably takes a round to cast Spectral Hand, and then the next round you cast Chill Touch and make your attack with it, rather than casting Spectral Hand, casting Chill Touch, then on the 3rd round making an attack.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay.
Devon needs Chill Touch.
Yeah.
I think this attunement will be very powerful for Devon in combat.
Yeah.
So the main thing I would use it with now is Fist of Stone, right? Basically allowing me to use the 18-100 strength with a weapon attack.
Oh.
Is the main thing. But eventually Chill Touch would be pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
You can stack stuff, right? You could do Strength of Stone, Fist of Stone plus Chill Touch. Could you do that and do like a Chill Punch?
I don't see why not.
You can use spell research to exceed your max number of spell slots?
Yeah. That's an optional rule they throw in there. Yeah. I like it.
Because I think I've got my max 11 first level spells. Yeah. Cool stuff. Maybe we should take a first break?
Yeah. Why don't we take our first break right here, and we will come back on the other side of the game, other side of the break with a little more Dicing with Death. Bye-bye.